Welcome to Super Fast Tortoise, and today we're gonna talk about thumbnails. Like how does Tortoise look at thumbnails, and how can these thumbnails help you? Yes, I want to help you with Charlie over here. We're gonna walk you through how Tortoise kind of looks at thumbnails, and this information could help you process the way I think, so your thumbnails can get higher in quality. You know, because we all can use help. I'm not the best, and I don't think I'm the best. So let's see where this little adventure takes us. Woo! So here we go. Here is my take on a decent thumbnail. Now, is this the best thumbnail in the world? No, not really. But it's a good thumbnail. Stands out, does what it does. It's why you clicked on the video. It's because of this thumbnail. This thumbnail is the easiest part of what makes Tortoise tick when doing a thumbnail. It is simple, it's abrasive, and it says what it needs to. Like it says, make a good thumbnail. Wow, right? But this is a basic thumbnail, right? But how I look at thumbnails kind of goes this simple. Boom, right there. I got this little frame, but you can see I have the thumbnail broken into two blocks. We got a simple left side block. We got a simple right side block. Bloop. Let me scoot that there. So we got left side block, right side block. So this is how I process thumbnails. There's a left side, there's a right side. And this is good to know, because I'm the kind of dude who likes to take a subject. Now, I want that subject to be a different color. Boom, right there. Yeah, yellow's perfect, right? So say this circle's the subject. It fits well in the middle, fits well on the left, and it fits well on the right, right? The reason why I look at thumbnails this way is because I like to think there are three parts to the thumbnail that you want to focus on. You either have the far extremes of the left and right, and you got the middle. And the middle is good for drawing into a view. But what I want to show you here, these four dots, right? They're not perfectly aligned, but they're there where your eyes will actually rest and relax. Those four dots kind of show you where your eyes will look. When someone looks at this square, their eyes naturally rest in these areas where the four dots are. You know, that's just like a basic. I didn't precisely put these anywhere. That's just kind of how they look. You know, this is where your eyes kind of look naturally, in that center area. The reason why that's important, so when I take this blue subject here and I move it right, the subject pulls you in after you notice the center area, right? So the center area is where your eyes kind of automatically connect on a thumbnail, but the subject being where it is, it puts it on the right. And the more extreme the right is, the more attention is put to it. Same with the left, right? The subject pulls you from the center of the image to the left. And what this does is it gauges the viewer retention, right? Like they look at the thumbnail, and where they see the subject from the center, it kind of gives them a couple extra seconds, or maybe like a millisecond, to look at that subject. So I want you to see how those are gauged. Like this square area, you can do this. See where that square is? If it's neatly in that center, you can stretch it a little. That is the comfort zone of the area. That's the comfort zone of the thumbnail, right? The comfort zone of the thumbnail is very simple and it's easy. Now, let me show you something. Alright, so you see how the square fits in the middle to the image, and you see there's some right space and there's some left space. But you see how I have the right space and left space going on? There's a subject in the left space, which is that black mana symbol showing you what this thumbnail is covering that day. And the right space gives you time and space to realize that. What makes this good, decent basic thumbnail, is that the thumbnail works in focusing on one of these spaces, left, middle, and right. So I delete this, and you see there's a subject character in the middle, but what he's holding in his hands here is what the video is actually about. It's about that black man and a symbol. This text over here on the bottom right is there to easily process the thumbnail. The thumbnail says, hey, 726 cube edit MTG commander, commander cube, right? And so what you should take from this is look how simple it is, right? I got this nice image in the middle, and in the middle of this whole thing is a character, and the character is holding the theme of the show, the black mana symbol. But another thing I want you to take from this image is look how easy it is on the eyes. So when you look at this, you see how calming it is, and you see how focused it is, and how clear it is, right? Now there's a left side, right side, and a center. I'm using all three spaces for different reasons. I have the text at the bottom here that's telling you what the video is about. I have on the left the subject or theme of the video, and in the center there's just a filler space. But look how calming everything is around him. Alright, look at this thumbnail, right? So here is an extreme example of using both the left and right side. Now in this thumbnail there's two subjects being covered. We have an Astrid enchantments deck for Commander Knight, and on the left side here we got enduring enchantments. So it's separating two different subjects, but we have the verses in the middle tying them together. Then at the bottom we have the title of the show. This is using the extreme of the middle, left, and right here, but this is to draw attention to what the show is. And then during enchantments and Astrid enchantments to separate. Now when you look at this, you can see the full use of left and right usage of the thumbnail, how Tortoise looks at thumbnails. I use AI art a lot to improve my thumbnails. You're going to have to use what you can to your advantage when you're making your thumbnails. The program I'm using and I use for making thumbnails is called Inkscape. I'll put a link to it in the description below. But Inkscape is amazing for doing thumbnails. Now, like I said, this is an extreme example of using both left and right side, but there's something in the center. This is a good way of using a busy thumbnail, because the art for one side shows one difference and the other side shows a different difference, showing there's two different subjects going on. But the middle versus shows what's going on is that two things are going against each other. And if you know Commander and you know the show, because like when people know the show, you can use the leverage of people understanding that this is a Commander game or something like that. So it's pretty good. And don't forget the title of your show that shows up above the thumbnail expresses the thumbnail. When people look at it, they're like, oh, and the title explains the thumbnail explains the title. This is a busier thumbnail, but so I was playing around because I learned how to get the image and text, because like where it says game night in the clear looking game night, that is actually 3 different layers of imagery that I learned on a trick and I want to try out. But here, as busy as it looks at a glance, when you look at this from far, it kind of hides the complexity of the thumbnail, which is fine. But what I want to highlight is using the left and right side. Game night takes the left and the middle, which is fine. This bluer outline. Magic Gathering's in there just to show people it's by Magic Gathering, playing around with it. The Prime Tortoise is a show that we're working in, that we have here. And the Prime Tortoise works well down there. For people who know what the show is, they'll know. Because when you get a following of people and you get to play around through thumbnails, people understand what's your thumbnail. But here on the right side, I have the main subject, because this night I only knew one deck that was going to be in the game, and it was Chilean Teller of Tells. So I put the focus on that subject. The subject is on the right side, and on the left side is filler. Now, the one thing I have against this thumbnail that I created is it's really busy on the left side, but I give the excuse since it's more just for artistic point of view. Like, it's on artistic point of view, it's okay. It's not giving any information that shouldn't be there, other than the game night down here and Magic the Gathering for people who didn't know what was going on, for those newer viewers. So this is an interesting way to look at a thumbnail. Alright, this is my Gruul's combo thumbnail. Now, you can see there's stuff happening on the left side, the right side, And you can see where the middle is kind of separate, but blended in by two different pictures. So over here on the left side, we got the Gruel logo and some random AI generated beast. That is to kind of give a flavor for the video. And on the right side, I went heavy on the subject matter, where it says Gruel Combos MTG3, and there's a beautiful picture of me. Here is a good example of looking at a simple or simplified thumbnail. This thumbnail integrates two ideas and puts them into one. The subject is me, and the Gruel combos, and the left is an explainer, like what people would expect is Gruel, like green, red, stompy, Magic the Gathering. So this is a good little thumbnail that does its job, that gets the clicks. This is my Metroid Prime gameplay thumbnail, right? It's simple. I have a Metroid Prime-like figure that's AI generated, and I did it for effects and coolness and test it out. Simple, easy color background, right? Simple, easy color background. I'll get more into that. Metroid Prime Remastered logo. There is the subject on the right. The gameplay is the subject, and I may be bad at this game. It is really just for flavor. So the main subject's on the right side here. Even with a little live logo, this is the main subject. The left side is this filler, showing people kind of the game style I'm going to be playing. Since it's Metroid Prime-ish, it fits there, and I wanted AI art, so I wanted it to be unique. So, some tips to making thumbnails like these, right? Well, first of all, I use AI art a lot to enhance the quality of my thumbnails. So, this is the two-scene thumbnail, right? And for those who want to know, this height in inches and width in inches, this is the size of the thumbnail I use. If you look over here to the left where it says DPI 500, or down right above the pinks for 300 to 500 DPI, that's dots per inch. I usually do my thumbnails at 500 dots per inch, but if you're making a project for print, try not to go over 300. All right, so let's kind of build a thumbnail right here, right? So I'm going to put a square, right? So right here, we're going to make a gradient background. Blur. Alright. What I'm doing right here is I'm making a basic background, right? The reason why the basic background is there in this video is that when you're doing a thumbnail, you want your background to be as simplistic as possible. You want the color palette to be as suited in one color, up to two colors, but nothing too dramatic unless it's out for impact. Meaning this is easy on the eyes unless you're going for impact. If you're going, and let me show you what impact is, right? See, that's impact right there. Impact is separating the two sides. So it's 1v1, right? 1v1 kind of thing. You know, it's to make it dynamic. Now, here I'm going to create a circle or a square right here. We're going to make that a circle. This is a subject, right? Boom. Right there. Boom. A subject. There's super fast tortoise, right? And now I'm going to change this impact thumbnail into more of a calming gradient thumbnail. I want it to be simple, to be easy. Alright. Let's change that blue to gray. Yeah, I'm going to change that dark blue to darker gray. There you go. Alright. Try to mix your colors to fit how you want the film be. Now we're going to enter some text. Now, here is a simple, stupid, basic thumbnail that looks pretty decent. And I say simple, stupid because it's just a logo and words, right? But it looks pretty decent because I know where the eyes go. The eyes go in the circle area right here. The eyes naturally go right there, right? The subject is me, or my logo on the side, and the thumbnail design is simple. And I will change the color. Now, this is just showing you the simplest of thumbnails, right? The simple of design. Because there could be a lot more going into this, you know? A lot more. And you're like, what's going on here? So I take this, make a reaction, And look, here you go. Thumbnail design. That just pops a little, right? That's just minimum effort, right? The more effort you put into the thumbnail, the better it will be. But what you see, the guy on the right is not the subject, but he is there for clickbait. Because a thumbnail should be clickbait without being clickbait. It should draw the attention to people, tell them what they want, right? Like this would be more logo design, right? Yeah, logo design. What? How to design that logo? So I did something as simple as this. Not the best thumbnail design here, but something like this stands out. Design this logo. This guy's pointing at the logo. There you got a subject and something that's influencing the subject by being clickbaity. You know, you want to do what you want to do. Now you can play around, be like this, but like notice how that in the center of everything. If I do that, he's responding to the logo, but there's nothing on the left side, and it looks wrong. It looks wrong. All right. Now what I can do is I can take everything I did here, move it to the center like that, then now that's a better looking thumbnail, right? Now if I was to take the time, I'd personally cut this dude out and put a colored background swap in it, but this is just for, you know, presentation purposes, a quick learning, because this learning method is a really good method. Like, you want to play around with the colors, you want to be creative. You have to be creative when designing thumbnails, because if you want to design thumbnails, you have to be able to push your limits. You got to know your limits, and you got to make your limits and push your limits. Sometimes thumbnails take a lot of effort, or sometimes more work than you think. Like, for example, this is AI art and type of AI art, right? So this man's here for the fun. This bearded man's here for the fun of it. I wanted to throw him in there to pop out from the left. You got all the important stuff on the right, and you got all this fun stuff on the left. Now, the fun stuff on the left is to kind of give a viewer experience of, you know, this is going to be a fun show. But, like, what I want to show here, and I can't really show because this is not the base file, but, like, this cup does not go in this hand. This cup was implemented in this hand. These fingers on the bottom of the hand were cut out from the original picture and pasted on top to make it look like the cup is in this hand. You want to take consideration and put in care and love into your thumbnails, because this cup of coffee was not in the original art. You know, obviously this bearded man wasn't, but he makes it up. Now this is just me being creative. This is a banging thumbnail, but it's just a thumbnail for fun. You know, you got In the Shell, Super Fast Horse, Morning Coffee. For those who know the show, knows what it says. You know, but this is just, you know, one of the things I'm explaining, that you want to take time and effort into your thumbnails and not just slam them together, because you can come out with a cool looking thumbnail like this, or get a cool thumbnail like this. You know, you want to use your strengths to your advantage, and you got to find ways to go above your weaknesses in design. So I use what I can to enhance what I know. You know, that's the best way to do it. Work with your strengths and go against your weaknesses. That's because I know how to split a thumbnail into two parts and know the three parts of a thumbnail: the right, the left, and the center. And that has been a quick guide to how Tortoise looks at thumbnails, and I hope this has helped you. I know it's not a super in-depth thumbnail design tutorial, but it's something to give you an idea to work on, to strive on, to better yourself, because I'm constantly working to better myself, and I hope this works out for you. Thank you for watching. Thank you for liking the video. Thank you for your comments. I always appreciate them, and thank you for being amazing. And until next time, my friends, play wise.
No motherfucker in this world could do it like me. Open up your eyes and insert a little rising. You don't have to love me, you don't have to like me. Got enough love in myself, in my psyche. You should have the same in your brain nightly. If you wanna cruising in my lane fast, call it high speed. I've been working hard, yeah, I've been working nightly. If you